Good evening from Eagle Nation. It's a great day to be an Eagle. I just came back from the Booster Club kickoff, hot dogs for all and lots of enthusiasm. We're here tonight to talk and update everyone on the risk dial. North Central District Health Department has updated the risk dial for the week, and I'm happy to announce that Holt County is still in the green. Means masks are recommended for both students and staff, but not required. We'll be operating under the green parameters throughout the first week or this upcoming week of school. So tomorrow until next Tuesday or Wednesday for sure, we will be in the green. We will be continuing to take temperatures, washing hands, and socially distancing. I do want to remind all of you parents that we are not having early outs on Mondays this year. We want to take advantage of every minute with our students, so there will not be early outs on Mondays for this school year. We also are continuing to ask you as parents to be our first line of defense as far as keeping COVID-19 out of our schools. You're doing a great job. Please keep it up. Please continue to take temperatures and screen your child for symptoms each day before sending them to school. This goes for all grades, pre-K through 12th grade. If they are feeling ill, please keep them home. We'll continue to take temperatures upon arrival in the homerooms and throughout the day as needed. If your child should have a temperature of 100.4 or greater, they'll be taken to an isolation room and will need to be picked up 30 minutes after receiving a call from the school. We'll talk about instructions concerning returning to school when you pick them up. I did want to mention I also attended a Mid-States Conference meeting today where we talked about activities for the upcoming year. And I just want to give you all a heads up. Things may look different at different sites. Some people may have concession stands, some may not. Some may limit the number of spectators they allow in the gyms. Please, before you leave for an away event or even a home event, check in with your student, their coach, or someone at school to make sure that you understand all of the precautions they're taking either here at home or away.
Elementary updates, just a few things. While we dismiss at 3:30 every day, like Mrs. Shane said, we want to remind our kindergarten parents that kindergartners will dismiss at 1:30 until next Friday, the 28th. Also, speaking of little ones, preschool kicks off next Monday with both the AM and PM sessions. The next thing is our pickup and drop off. It's been going pretty well, actually. I've been very happy with everybody. Kids seem to be getting in and out of the building quickly and safely. Please remember that we ask that you do not park in the Circle Drive and get out of your car. If you have to get out and park, please go to the north or south lot. And please remember that we do not open the doors until 7:40 a.m. And finally, while sporting events aren't started yet, we want to remind families that our elementary school students are expected to be with an adult at every game and will not be allowed to play games in open areas or in the sand. Generally, they are expected to sit with their families. And just a reminder of our classroom procedures. When we're in the green, which we currently are, the only time students will not be with their homeroom peers and just their homeroom peers is if we are doing any form of SPED, HAL, Title I, or ELL services. And in green, specials look the same as they would any other year, except for they're just with their homerooms. And library use, remember only one book. That's normally we take 3, but 1 is where we're at in order to make sure we can sanitize all of our books.
As far as the junior and senior high school updates this week, we are starting to get close and rolling out some activities. I think softball is scheduled to play tomorrow night and also on Saturday. And then I'm sure we have football, volleyball kicking off next week and cross country the week after. A reminder that students in grades 7 through 12 are admitted into all home regular season games for free. That's something we've been doing for several years now. But students are expected to be a positive support to those who are participating in the games. We want you there, and we want you sitting in the stands cheering on the Eagles. But due to COVID, students in the student sections will be expected to be spaced apart. It's going to be kind of a challenge, and I think our kids will do a good job of it. We'll give them some more direction when they get to the games, and we'll be doing the best we can to supervise and remind students to socially distance as best they can when they're in the student sections. The first 2 days, our students have done a great job. The past 2 days, definitely some major changes to the ordinary routines You might have heard lunch was kind of chaotic that first day. Just trying to make sure everybody was spaced out and getting through lunch was a challenge, but we had a great day today. Really hard to follow those protocols, but it's going to be in place for quite some time. So what does quarantine look like if we have a positive case here at OPS? And I've been asked that question several times. Like Mrs. Shane said, we're fortunate to be in the green right now, but we know that it is a possibility. And so because we are moving throughout the junior and senior high school building on an 8-period schedule, it's important to recognize that if there is a student or staff that tests positive for COVID-19, it could possibly result in a number of students and staff to be quarantined. That's the reality of this pandemic when it comes to school. But we're always going to work with the North Central District's Health Department to address who would have to quarantine and for how long they would have to quarantine. And that's going to be something that will be the case all the way preschool through 12th grade. So as we wrap things up, we only have completed a couple days, but I think we're very proud of our students and staff for their work. We recognize that these modifications are not ideal, they're not fun, and they may seem really frustrating and stressful at times. We appreciate your efforts at home. As Mr. Shane said, you're our first line of defense. If you can take those temperatures and assess your kids before you send them to school, that's going to make a huge difference. And it ultimately results in how many and how often we have to quarantine if that does happen. So it's going to be important to remain focused on doing what is best for our students as we navigate through the coming weeks and the coming months. If at any time you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact the building principals at either school or the central office. Thank you.
Thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you next Wednesday.